everybody. Hopefully you all had a great spring break where you at least got to enjoy not trying to balance, home life and school life for the whole day a little bit, and got to relax a little bit. So today we wanted to really focus on some tools that you could use for direct instruction that you could push up, that you could use with your students. And we're going to talk about a few different ones. The big thing that we want you guys to keep in mind is that we're going to be showing you a lot of tools. We don't want you to try to master all these tools. The more tools you use, the harder it is for you, and it's actually harder for your kids because then they're having to understand how to navigate and work with these tools as well. So we recommend to pick the one or two that best fit for you. And if you're already using one of the platforms, like we're going to talk about Flipgrid and Seesaw as well. So if you're already using one of those platforms with your kid, then maybe just use that tool for your direct instruction as well, because it's already all together and you know that it all talks to one another. You're not going to have to worry about downloading and uploading and transferring files. So again, don't try to learn all the tools as we talk about them. See which ones make sense best, that's going to best fit for what you want to do as a teacher, and then go from there. We are going to do kind of like quick introductions to all of these, so we're not going to go do a super deep dive. If you have more questions about them, let us know afterwards, and we would be happy to either meet with you guys one-on-one, or if there's enough interest, we could schedule another webinar that goes a bit more into a deep dive on some of these tools. So the first one we're going to talk about is actually called Educreations. The reason I like Educreations is that it actually has an iPad app. And the reason, so if you have access to an iPad, it's a great tool, especially I think for those of us that teach math, because you can, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm really bad at drawing with the trackpad. So with math, right, where you have to do the numbers and the equations and drawing the visual models, it does not work for me on a computer. Like, it just looks horrible. I can't understand what I'm trying to write, and so I'm sure my kids can't understand. So with the iPad, it's just more intuitive because you can use your finger or stylus. So if you have access to an iPad, this is a great app to use. If you don't have an iPad but you want to use it, you can. It does have a web-based program as well. But again, then you're using the trackpad. So I'm actually going to try to share my iPad with you on here. My Wi-Fi is not great. I live in the Santa Cruz Mountains, so it's a hit or miss, so there might be a bit of delay, but I want to at least show you what the iPad app looks like and kind of show you what that looks like. Yay. There's a delay. This is the fun part. We'll see if this works. Come on. Uh-oh, maybe this won't work. If not, I can do the old school and hold it up to the camera for you guys. One more time. And also, just so you know, Tiffany and Julie, whoever's not talking basically is moderating the side chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to type in questions into the chat as well for them to answer. Yay, there we go. So this is what the iPad app looks like your home screen. And it's a really simple app to use. That's why I like it. To make a recording, you literally just go up to the plus button up in the top left-hand corner, and you'll get a blank canvas in front of you. And with this blank canvas, you can write on it. You can't write, so like if I'm doing math, I can do my models, or I can if I want to do fractions, I can do different colors. You have an erase tool as well, so if you decide you mess up, you can erase, and I promise you this will show up eventually, hopefully, for you guys. Let's see.
I was going to say, when you're recording it, when you don't have the internet lag, you'll see it real time.
Yeah, like right now there's a, yeah. So that's kind of like the basics on it. Up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see like a little plus button that's up here. And on that plus button, we're going to see if this shows. on that plus button, there are options on things you can actually put in your background. So what's nice with Educreations, oh, let's try again. Come on, yay. All right, so with the plus button, come on plus button. All right, well, you can do things like add text. You can bring in a background image. So if you have like, maybe if you want to take a picture of like a textbook page or something like that, you could then upload that into the back of your Educations. So we're just going to do this old school. And I'm just going to do this. Yeah, old school teaching. So up here, I can hit the plus button, and then I could add text. I can add images. I can take a picture. I can add a PDF. I can go online and start to add stuff. And you can also add maps and things in there. So like for me, a lot of times what I would do is I would, right, maybe make like a template or something on like a Google slide deck or something like that. And I'll just save those as pictures on my, because you can download slides as images. And then I would just upload those. But, or say you want to do something, right, that you have already, like maybe I have some fraction models I want to pull up. I can then bring that up as my background image on my slide. Let me erase my fun hello. Right, and then I could actually do like this math problem. And I have that, and I can write, and I can draw models, things like that. And then what you can do is as you're drawing and writing, you can be talking and recording your audio at the same time. So you could be physically like what you like, kind of like what you'd be doing on your whiteboard, right, with your kids in class. And you could be talking verbally and delivering the lesson instruction that way. And you can do multiple slides. So like say, so what you could do, right, is you could set up like, here's my first problem, then I want to go to another problem. I get a blank slide. Maybe now we want to graph it and I want to change my background. And so then what I could do, let's see if we can pull it up, is up here in the top right-hand corner, there's a little thing up here, and that lets me change my background. So I could have lined paper, graph paper, I could even do like a coordinate grid. So then like maybe if we're doing work with equations or plotting points, right, I have my coordinate grid up there, and I can start to, you know, we can plot a point, and we could graph the line that goes through it, things like that. So it's a basic tool. There aren't a lot of bells and whistles to it, but it's kind of why I like it. It's very easy to use.
Misty, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So you said that's a recording you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you happen to know if you can bring that recording into something like Screencastify if I'm trying to merge several parts together? Or how would I combine that with some other parts of a lesson?
So it kind of depends. So if you are using, so what platform are you using right now to connect with your kids? Are you using Seesaw or Google Classroom?
Some grade levels use Seesaw, some use Google Classroom. I'm just pushing out videos that I merge right now in Screencastify.
So the only thing with Seesaw is that you have a 6-minute limit per video upload. So if you were to do this on Seesaw, I would actually say then like you could just upload each of your video chunks separately, unless you think it's going to be less than 6.
Yeah, so I actually combine, they're actually all in YouTube. So
okay, so you're just uploading them nice and easy. Awesome. So then what you can do is you can, I don't know, Tiffany or Julie, maybe you can help on Screencastify. Can you bring in other video as well to make when you merge your video clips? I don't think you can, but I'm not positive. I haven't tried that. Yeah, I haven't tried because we never had access to the fancy features before, and now we do. So we can also play around and we can let you know.
Okay.
You can do that on iMovie though. And if you have a MacBook from the district, you have iMovie on your computer.
Yeah.
So you could put the clips all together and do that.
Okay.
And I think YouTube has an editor. I will go in and double check because they had it and then they took it away and then they put it back and then they took it away. So I don't know if it still exists. But if it does exist, then you could do that on YouTube actually as you're uploading your video. You could go in and put your pieces together and then put in that final one. So I can do some research on that and find out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And a workaround is you could just play the video while Screencastify is running. Like after you've made it on Educreations.
Yeah, because you can, yeah, that's true. Because you can just play a video via Screencastify.
That would be a really not preferred workaround, but it'd be doable.
Yeah, so that's like the basics. So how it works then with Educreations, right? As you're doing your lesson, you hit your little record button. It records what you're saying. Whenever you record on an iPad, I recommend using an external mic. You literally, the ones that come with your iPhone, like the one I'm using right now, work great. Because it gets the mic closer to your mouth so that you don't get all the background noise. And it's because the mic on your iPad, you're hopefully not holding your iPad like this as you're recording, right? It gets that mic close so that you have clear volume for your kids. But then once you're done recording, you just hit the pause button. You can pause, you can keep recording. So like if you need to take a break, like, right, refresh what you need to do or double check something, go chase after the barking dog, whatever, then hit play, record again, and you can keep going until you're done with your lesson. Once you're done, then you just hit the finish button and you can save it as a draft or you can save it as a finished video. Ugh, glare does not work. There we go. So you can save as draft or finished video, depending on if you finish it at that sitting or if you need to continue on with it later. When you're all done, it's really simple to share. You literally just click a share link. You get that link, you push it out to kids. So it's super simple. There's nothing too complicated about it. And then the other one nice thing that I like about Educreations is with the iPad app is you can actually educators can share their created videos into Educreations like lesson bank. So you can also go and see if anyone else has already created a lesson on that topic. Though a lot of research has actually shown that kids respond best to recordings that have their teacher's voice. So keeping that in mind, like they show like the best results with screen recordings actually happen when it's a teacher's voice with those kids. But a lot of times what I like to do is see how other teachers have taught it via a screen recording if I have a really hard time figuring out how would I teach this, right, with my kids not physically being there. So sometimes that's a good way to like get ideas as well. So that's Screencastify in a nutshell. It really is just kind of like an interactive whiteboard that you can do a screen recording with. And again, you can use it on your iPad or you can use it on your computer. And right now they're giving up free upgrades to their Pro account, which basically just unlocks some other features for you. And we have all the info for you that we'll share with our recap email today. Are there any questions on Educreations? Alrighty.
Okay.